Hey, what's going on, y'all? This GA. So, question. So, the Father done, or I would say Yeshua done healed the sick, raised the dead. He did all this kind of stuff, right? A lot of miracle signs and wonders. Why do we always have to charge somebody to be healed? Why do we always have to charge somebody to feel the presence? That's like being Simon the sorcerer. Simon the sorcerer did that stuff. And then when Philip the deacon comes in, now Philip was a deacon, and the deacon had to give the casting out demons. But yet he didn't charge the people to get delivered. Yeshua didn't charge nobody. When he didn't go to the man with legions and say, you know what, you need to give me $30 before I heal your body, before I cast these demons out and throw them into the pigs. He didn't tell the Samaritan woman. See, he just told her, he said, look, I don't give the children's bread to dogs. And she said, well, even dogs eat the crumbs that falls from the master's table. He didn't charge her $50,000 for her to get, for her daughter to get delivered. She just believed. And mind you, I'm not, hey, I ain't coming against nobody. I'm not saying you should get paid for your gifts. I want to get paid for my giftings too. I want to get paid. I want my gifts to open doors for me too. But I refuse to try to bamboozle people, you know, and putting his name on front for it just so I can make some money. You get what I'm saying? Like, why do we feel like we need to do that? For what? Come hear this prophet because he gonna tell you about your whole life story, and you need to pay him $5,000 before he prophesied to you. For what? If I need a prophetic word, I could go in the word and get that. If you build your relationship with the Father, you could get a word. You getting what I'm saying? Not saying that prophets ain't necessary. I know prophets are necessary. I'm glad the Father got prophets. But I don't need no false prophet. I don't need no prophet trying to come and trying to bamboozle me. Let me tell you something that happened one time. 20 years ago. Yeah, about 20 years. No, I'll say, yeah, about 20 years ago. I went to this church and they had this prophet coming in. This was before I started ministering and all this stuff. I really decided to really get into ministry at 25. I'm 50 now, so this is 25 years ago. But I've been in ministry for a long time. So I said, you know what, Father, I'm going to really do what you call me to do. I knew he called me to pastor, to be a preacher at 16 and all that kind of stuff. I knew all of that, but I was running. But let me get back to the story, and then I'm going to get y'all out of here. So this prophet comes in, and the prophet says this. He said, bring all your debt. Bring all your debt, all your credit, everything, and I'm going to pray over them, and the Lord is going to cancel your debt. And I'm up here all excited. I'm all like, oh, man. I'm like, man, I'm bringing my stuff. I need my debt canceled. He prayed over, I brought all my stuff, prayed over my paperwork and everything, put some anointing on his hand, prayed over and all that kind of stuff. 10 years later, I still got the same debt. It didn't go nowhere. I was hungry for the Lord. You know, I was hungry. We'd even try to go talk to him after service. And, you know, sir, thank you so much for praying for me and stuff. And, you know, what do you think about this? And, you know, I was hungry. I was really wanting. And he too busy scrolling in his phone. Too busy spending time in his phone. This was in Sacramento, California. That's all. I'm going to just give you that. I ain't going to even say nothing else about that. This was in Sacramento, California. And so he just scrolling, but I still got that same debt. Because I was running after a word. I wasn't running after Christ. I was running to go hear the prophet. I was running to go hear. I want him to tell me something that's going to make me feel good. And you pay for that. You pay for that. You getting what I'm saying? But real authentic word, real authentic prophecy. Look, let me tell you something. You ain't got to pay for that. You ain't got to pay for that. You ain't got to wait till they come in town. You ain't got to do none of that. I'm not, like I said, I ain't knocking nothing that anybody doing. But false prophetic words and all this, we want to pay $2,000 for miracle signs and wonders and all this kind of, let me teach you how to pray for $15,000 and all this other kind of stuff. That's a bunch of foolishness. So until next time, this GA, talk to you soon. Peace.